Stay out of any fisticuffs and be approved. I'll take about 3 washes like last time. It took about 4 weeks to arrive in Melbourne. Dirk Albert's company cleaned it. I think it took about 3 or 4 washes because they're always white. Like here's a red jumper. Yeah, I had a chat with her about it.
Have you not seen it? No. You've not seen that. Oh, you're going for your South Park phase or your family life phase.
How have I never seen that clip?
You have 8 hours left to live. Quick, what do you do?
Oh yeah, oh it is a more player, so it can. You can definitely go.
Section 2 long ones, a couple of hours. You know, we'll go to our room.
How's it turned down?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 15 of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League here this afternoon at Tracy Village Oval. We have the Foundation Cup, and that is between the home side, the Wanderers, and they currently meet Waratah Football Club. And what's going to be an absolutely exciting contest, I believe, between these two teams. My name is Georgios Skoufezis, joined in commentary by Will Zwar, and I guess if we're coming off a NTFL representation round, how do you think this game will pan out for both these teams?
Yeah, good afternoon, George. Pleasure to be here. I think, interesting game ahead, I'd say, particularly given the results that we've already seen over the weekend with St Mary's succumbing to Nightcliff last night. For Waratah, it's just a matter of banking up the wins, getting a bit more percentage if they can, but ultimately getting through the game unscathed. Meanwhile, you look at Wanderers, and, they had a pretty impressive unit in the back line in that rep side, obviously with Newman, with McLean, and with Taylor. This could be, one of their last opportunities for the year to get some silverware, so I think we're probably likely to see a bit more passion from them. We know this is always a big and important clash for Foundation Cup between the two clubs, but hopefully with a few of those factors combined, we have an interesting game combined with the weather as well ahead of us.
Absolutely. Waratah and Wanderers could not be more dissimilar this season. Waratah currently sit second on the competition table. A victory this afternoon would take them within 2 points of the leading Southern Districts, and Wanderers sitting below an 8th. They've won 1 of their last 5. Waratah 4 of their last 5. So form as well is going to be an important thing going into this one. Only moments away from first bounce here.
See Arnold Kirby take the first hit out. Obviously he had a pretty impressive game in that rep side, and well deserved for him. I think he's one of those ruckmen who flies under the radar. Probably the Mr. Consistent of the ruckman this year.
Yep.
And as I said, well deserving of that side. Hopefully he can back it up with a solid performance today. Just trying to work out who the opposing ruckman is. It is big Ed Simpson, usually seen at full forward when he's playing in a side that's a bit more sizable, but he'll face off in the ruck today. And umpire Emma Stark, of course, throwing the ball up. Fantastic young woman in NTFL. Kirby, he got the first hit out down. Scrappy start though. Collis will get the handball out to Carlin. Carlin, he'll go wider again, but good intercept from Wanderers. Collis will have another crack at it. Comes close towards the boundary. O'Connell picks it up, keeps it in, just gets boot to ball to knock it forward. Finds his player, but he hits the deck early with the ball in hand. Big strong tackle and assault on the ball from the Wanderers early. And as we said, could be their last opportunity for some silverware this year. And they know it out there looking at first passage of play, don't they?
Yeah, strong contest between the two sides. Very wet footy.
Umpire Stark again up, and Simpson, he's got the better of that one. Gets it down there to Dane McFarlane back in the side for Wanderers, but the kick is astray and out on the full.
Yeah, sloppy kick that comes with the conditions early on. I think as the teams get a feel for it, that'll hopefully be rubbed out.
So kick, just a short one laterally. And another one short, sharp to Collis. One of the better plays in last week's rep clash as well. Goes and finds Eddie Morris, an emergency last week. Probably unlucky to miss selection that side, but you can't squeeze everyone in, unfortunately. That's not a bad kick down the line. Didn't find a target, but Kirby there doing the work on the ground level now. Getting at the bottom of it, Matty Motlop. Got a handball out to McFarlane. Busy already. Kirby, though, he intercepts it, gets hands on it. Player's headband has just come off there. Magro snaps towards goal. Wrong side of the post, though, and that opens our scoring today. 1 behind to Waratah. They lead 1:30 in.
Yeah, behind out of nothing, and very easily could have been a goal off that boot of Magro. He's been on red-hot form this season.
So Brad McLean will kick in for Wanderers. Comes out towards the big man Simpson, but the mark taken by Brody Newman. He gets a hands-off quickly. Working it forward to the Wanderers. That kick in the middle of the ground. Beats all comers, but getting to it will be Keelan Fijo. Running inside 50. Just kicks a long tumbling ball towards goal. Wrong side of the post again. Levels the scores. And George, we saw earlier in the year when these two faced off, it was an absolutely dominant display by Waratah. I think they ended up winning by 81 points or something to the tune of that.
Yep.
Hopefully today's game won't be a similar result.
No, I think as earlier on this season, Wanderers were still, figuring themselves out a little bit, doing a lot of soul searching. They've certainly come into their own in these last few rounds.
Crocker to O'Dwyer, and O'Dwyer down to the big man in Hope, not sporting his bright green boots today. Ball's hit the deck and a Tars player sits on top of it on the mud. Wonder if they give out an award today for muddiest player at the end of the day, George.
There'll be a few candidates for that one, I
We'll
reckon.
have a chat at the end and see who we think deserves that. Simpson again with the hit out, so starting well. But they can't get the clearance. Eddie Morris doing his best to get in. Turnbull gets her hands out. Carroll now with the ball. Like a Rolls Royce through the mud there. Snaps it forward to Hope. He can't take the mark. In fact, it was Waddy. No, it was Hope, sorry. The handball now comes out to Morris. Morris kicks it forward towards an open square, but Newman running back will take the mark uncontested. Looks to move quickly. No, he doesn't. Bit of hesitation there. Just assessing his options. Going out the other side now. And that kick intercepted on that far forward flank. Probably a bit far out to score, so he spots Carlin in closer on a better angle as well. Looks like Carlin will go back and have our first proper set shot on goal of the day.
It'll be vital to knock this one home. A set shot here will test his nerve as well as his accuracy with the wet footy.
Carlin comes in. Umpire moves a little bit and it's just through for another point.
Yeah, it looks more or less this afternoon that the rain is going to hold up for the time being, and so as you get your first touch on the ball, you'll adjust to the dampness of the footy.
Taylor to McLean, to O'Connell. He'll look to come further down the line, albeit a short kick to Matty Motlop. Motlop assessing his options. We'll come down just in front of the change rooms here. Gooch got a handball involved. Fijo, he picked it up though, got the hands forward. Not an easy one. Handball will come out now. And O'Connell probably lucky not to give away a free kick there. Getting on top of it to Waratah. A handball comes over the back to Crocker. Umpire's called a free kick though, going the way of Wanderers, and it'll go to Jerome Motlop. See what JJ can do. Tars players have moved back into position quickly. There's a lot of red and white back there. He just kicks it long. 3 of them flew up and they almost spoiled themselves in the end, getting through Shane Thorne. He'll snap on goal. Doesn't quite have enough on it and comes back too hard. Another behind, so squares the ledger at 2 points apiece. 5 minutes into this one.
Yeah, back and forth footy. Exciting stuff early on, and another snap at goal. Kick out of the pack. Just unfortunately for Thorne, narrowly wide.
Waratah to do the kick-out duties from full-back. Looks like he'll come this near side to the big man Kirby. Couldn't take a mark, and Crocker will get there to it. McFarlane put his body on the contest, but Crocker got a handball through. Wet and wild conditions here. Can't take possessions cleanly. Thorne, he might get on a loose ball. Now goes on his right towards goal. Will that go through? Just across the face. Wanderers hit the lead though for the first time, and they wouldn't mind that. It's been pretty wet and wild, but if they can stay with Tars and even, put some scoreboard pressure on of their own, it helps the belief grow, doesn't it, George?
It certainly does, especially hopefully lock it into their forward 50, although, yeah, that might happen.
There's O'Dwyer out the other side. The kick intercepted. Getting to it was Tom Cree, but he's given away a free kick for high contact. Wanderers will have another opportunity to reload. Comes to O'Connell in the middle. He's been busy early. Nichols medalist from a few years ago. A lot of good footy ahead of him. A lot of good footy behind him as well. That kick inside 50 couldn't quite be caught cleanly by Brenton Motlop, and it goes over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in that forward pocket. Motlop doing the ruck duties at the moment, filling in for Simpson after a well-deserved spell. Wanderers picking it up out of the pack, only get it as far though as Seal. Seal will be a big inclusion for them today with some size. Collis there, gets a handball to Turnbull. Now comes back from Carroll to Collis. Collis almost run down, got a handball away, and he'll get a free kick for tripping. Advantage is called. Here comes Gooch. Gooch out to Magro, very long way away from home on the wing, calling for Hope. Ooh. He's been hit afterwards as well, I think. Back to the ball, and Wanderers have intercepted it, so not as cleanly as the Tars would have liked. Magro will put on another tackle, comes towards the boundary line, and a throw in just forward of wing, I think, for the Tars.
Yeah, strong play there. Yeah, like you said, Magro receiving a bit of love there from Dos Santos after the ball leaving its...
I did miss missed that one, George. Was it a nasty one or
yeah,
not too bad?
A bit of a love tap, I think.
So ball goes up short for the ruck. We'll have play to follow, though. I love Kirby's work rate. It's really been a crucial addition to his game this year and in previous years as well. Just adding that ground level work to his game. Gets a hit out there again. Simpson, though, recipient of a stray ball. Tapping it forward was Cabillo, but he couldn't do anything with it. Now comes back to Crocker. He's also been lively today. Eddie Morris it is. The other Eddie gets the boot to ball and goes forward. Turnbull and Tars have a free kick going the way of Jaden Magro, last week's hero.
Yep.
Collecting the best on-ground medal, and along with his 4 goals, was very impressive.
Yeah, and he'll take his best as well to slot this one home. A bit of poetic justice, perhaps. Dos Santos giving away the free kick on that occasion. Could lead to Tar's opening goal. I think for a fair bit of a run up there, Magro. I think is at centre, the centre of the park as he'll make his way in.
It's just about to come into screen now. Yeah. There he is. So from inside 50, at the harshest angle. Umpire, he just moved backwards, didn't move side to side. And that's the first major of the day to Jaden Magro, last week's Northern Territory Buffaloes hero. First goal in the Foundation Cup, 1-2-8. Waratah lead Wanderers, 3 behinds.
Yeah, it was an important goal too. Needed to really kick that. He's got very good composure. Jaden Magro, certainly the leading all comers, at least for his side. And I believe the competition for goals, so could be...
He is, yep.
So
I think he's about 12 goals ahead when it's a competition like it is now, 41 goals, and the next opponent's, I think, on about 29. I might be wrong after the weekend's results. I think Coldy might have kicked 1 last week, he's in second, but it's a handy lead he's got.
Adding to that, certainly this afternoon.
Umpire Stark in the middle, all zinced up despite the cloud coverage. Love to see it. Hit out comes down. Push there from O'Connell, but it's all fair in love and war according to the umpire. Now comes to Kirby. And just coming through there was Clee. Still working forward. Ooh, big collide there from 2 Tars defenders. They'll work it out. Kick goes forward now from Jack O'Sullivan. Turns it over though. And Clee, he'll go backwards to Newman. Newman out that far side wing. He finds his target there. I think that might be McFarlane. Absolute superstar for the club a few years ago when they were contending for a flag. Guy missing. I don't think he played at all last season. I don't think he played before Christmas. Good to see him back in the side. Here's Hope now. Again, a long way away from goal. Kicked 2 goals last week in that rep game. Now kicks the ball forward. Can't find his target, and good work from Wanderers to get the ball over the boundary line there. Against Daniel Weecher.
His feet, yeah.
Hit the ground very hard. Umpire will throw it in. So Kirby again on Motlop. Kirby gets it down, straight down to Thorne. Good work there from Carlin to pick it up, kick it forward. Went through the hands of Collis. Turnbull's there in support. He'll pick it up now, but he's wrapped up in a tackle almost instantly. And brought to ground. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, it's really important around these stoppages that you're first to the ball, and someone like Kirby giving you touches like that. You've got to make the most of them.
Handball now goes back and then kicked forward for Wanderers. Just a bit of a barrel. Fist thrown in there. It'll go the way of Waratah. They're calling for it. Waratah. Just a short one. Just the distance, you'd say. Finds Cooper Murley. Murley, he now goes inside 50. Comes off his chest. Collis taking the ground without it. Now ball comes out to O'Connell, and again just throws on the boot. Bit of a barrel. 1-on-1 up there. Good work there from Waratah to take the ball off the contest, and they'll work it back in. So just taking a bit more control of the game these last few minutes, Waratah. Here is Dom Booth. Ooh, comes down now. McLean on deck. Ball rolls over the boundary line.
Tough defending there from the Wanderers, really putting their bodies on the line, trying to prevent a goal for the meantime.
So Kirby again. What a presence in the ruck. He gets it down to Turnbull. South Fremantle player last week.
Oof.
And Collis.
One too many.
Yeah, just one too many. You're right there, George. Kick will go from Waratah across to McLean. He'll come back to Newman. In fact, that wasn't McLean, that last one, sorry. But you can see Newman gets it back to Waratah, just telling him to slow it down a bit. Potentially come out this near side, which will make it easy for us, George, won't it?
Yep.
Good intercept there from Eddie Morris. Possibly could have gone the mark instead of the double fister. Hope hits the deck, gets a handball out there. Murley was the recipient, but there'll be a free kick going Hope's way. So what's ahead of Hope? Kicks it to Kirby. Comes off hands. Collis just gets boot to ball, works it forward. Running onto it's Magro now. Goes on his left, straight through. He kicks his second of the day, and he's in a bit of a purple patch form-wise. Good work to Jaden Magro. They extend their lead to 11 points.
Yeah, it seems like Magro is the magician at the moment for his team, certainly this season, and as well as in that massive game last weekend against South Fremantle. He's shown it that he can play against some of the better club players in Australia. And I mean, I know that in the AFL the rookie age has grown exponentially in terms of mature age players entering the AFL. Not quite sure if the Gold Coast Suns might be wondering or wanting another small forward, because tell you what, we've got a good one here in the territory.
Absolutely. East Fremantle boy as well, so I'm sure the Dockers and Eagles would have had their eyes on him at some stage, if not right now. Handball goes back from McFarlane in the middle, and now kick forward for Wanderers. There'll be a free kick pulled out of there for a hold against Wanderers. I think it'll be taken there by Brody Emboscado. Not a bad last name at all. Very exotic. Here he goes, Emboscado out that far side, finds Carlin. Good kick. And a good lead as well. You need to sort of give yourself as much space as you can in the wet, so that if you do miss it, you've got time to recover. This might not work out for them as well. Brody Carroll tackled and wrapped up by 2. Absolute superstar of the comp, Brody Carroll, just a bulldog. Always bats above his average in terms of his size and the opponents he takes and the ball he picks up, isn't he?
Yep, certainly is.
Hit out, comes down. There's Carroll Speaker, the Devil, kicks it forward on his trusty left. Collis at the fall of it, just gets a fist to it and bounces over the back. Newman, he'll crumb it and kick it forward. Hits umpire Stark on the behind. O'Connell picks it up, dances around a couple, then gets a handball through. Kicked out of there, out of danger by Clee. That one there finds Nathan Arbin. He goes long, finds Caleb Nicky. He's got one to beat, gets a handball off as he's tackled to O'Connell. Very silky there from O'Connell to pick it up one-handed. Handballs onto himself, recovers, gets through Morris. Now snaps on goal. Will that go through? Oh, just to behind. That would have been something for Wanderers to start their account for the day.
Certainly would have been silky stuff there from Bo O'Connell, one of the consistent performers for the Eagles this season.
So Emboscado, I think it is, from fullback. He kicks it out now. Hope the target. Very well muscled out there by Fijo. Ball almost comes to a standstill on the ground. Now gets it to Thorne. Thorne just, again, rolls it and tumbles it forward. Running to it, there's Emboscado. He'll go a short, sharp one this time. Instead, he finds Crocker. Crocker keen to move it on quickly, and he'll go switch quick across the other side to O'Dwyer. He'll take the mark uncontested. Looks ahead. He's got a Waratah, goes shorter than that, and doesn't hit the target there in Seal. Wanderers have another opportunity. Mark taken, no bounces off the chest there of Motlop. Umpire calls play on. And Nick Gooch tackled very close to the boundary line. I think it might even be a boundary throw-in.
Yep. Oh, no.
In fact, it's just a throw-up. Eddie Morris takes it out of the ruck, snaps on goal. Umpire doesn't move. Is that a goal? It is. What a fantastic goal there from Eddie Morris. Thought it might have been touched. There wasn't really much of an applaud there, but great start to the account for Wanderers. They move to 1-4-10, trailing Waratah 2-2-14.
Yeah, you got to take those opportunities when they come to them. Yeah, but Big Ed Morris plucks it out, and
Eddie Simpson.
Ed Simpson, sorry.
Eddie Morris, the other one. I've done that a couple of times today already.
Yeah, the old ruckman who started the game off, and see if he does make that arduous journey back into the centre, or is passing off ruck duties to someone else. But for the Wanderers, it seems like one of those games where when the opportunities come to them, they're going to certainly have to take them. And that was an opportunistic one there.
So just getting towards the end of this quarter, still probably 4 or so minutes left. Morris wrapped up straight from the hit out there, and we'll have another crack at it.
Looks like Jaden Adams now has popped into the ruck to compete with Kirby.
So rotating through, I think they're third of the day already. Kirby gets it down. Kicked out of there by Arbin forward. Running back will be Seal. Good strong tackle though, couldn't dispose of it. Wanderers get the benefit. They're surging forward now. Outside of the boot, check side from McMurray. Can't be taken. Simpson just gets it into the goal square there. Under pressure, Waratah. Gooch gets it to Emboscado. Good work there. Under pressure to get it out of there. That kick a bit too far though. It'll stay in play and taken out by Carroll, who I think is the leader for the muddiest bloke on the ground at this stage.
A candidate for that award, certainly.
So we'll have boundary throw in, about 60 out from the Wanderers' goal. Turnbull, he'll take it out, has a second crack at it, now gets it forward. Straight down the throat of Brodie Newman. Just knows where to sit in the hole, doesn't he? Gets it off to McLean. McLean will keep going. That kick will now come out the back to Cree. Gets a handball out. Put McLean's there to intercept. McLean kicks it inside the forward line. Just a bit long, and there'll be a free kick going Simpson's way. No, it's going the way of O'Dwyer.
Yeah. Bit of a peculiar one when you usually see the full forward go to ground first. You think it's a push in the back, but...
Might have been...
Fend-off and legal fend-off, maybe.
Yeah, well, could have even been... there was a slight contest in front of it. Don't quite recall who it was in there, but it could have been a result of that. Oof. That kick beats all of them. Kirby will just get boot to ball there, work it forward a little bit to Collis. Collis couldn't get to the ball in time, so a handball will come back from Wanderers. Again to Newman, racking him up on half-back. So too is this young man, Bo O'Connell. Takes the mark just defensively of the wing. He'll go down the line. Can't take the mark there. It was O'Sullivan, and Wanderers look to work it forward. JJ Motlop throwing his weight around. Getting onto it is O'Sullivan again. Gets a kick inboard. Finds Cree. Goes a short one to Carlin. Will he turn and go? He thought about it. We'll go back. Now goes into the lead of Hope. Can't take the mark. Picking it up is Benulis. Benulis gets it. And now comes back to Carlin with a kick to Magro. Magro can't take it on the full. Nearly had another crack at it, but hit the deck. Good defence there from Wanderers, though that kick is a scrappy one. Puts him in danger, puts him under pressure. Thorne just overran it, and there's plenty of red and white jumpers around the ball now. Getting back is Murley. He gets a handball to Turnbull. Turnbull couldn't take it cleanly either. Hits the deck, gets a handball out. Back to Murley. Magro taking the ground without it. That'd be a free kick, you would think. In fact, it's going the way of Wanderers, so Nicky, he gets a kick out to McFarlane. McFarlane's got a few to beat. Kicks it to the advantage of O'Connell, who can turn and go, and he has to. He takes one bounce in the wet. Very impressive. Now goes check side towards goal. Will that bounce the right way? Just the wrong side of the post. Reduces the margin to 3. 1-5-11. Wanderers trailing Waratah. 2-14.
Yeah, despite the advantage certainly on the pitch in terms of field position, the Wanderers are still staying in this game scoreboard-wise, so nothing too concerning just yet, Will, I think.
Umpire Stark calls a free kick for holding. Gee, he wanted to play on then and give it off to a runner, but there wasn't a runner to give it off to, so he'll have to go inside himself. Simpson was the target, and you could see that his kick just fell a bit short there. Here's Emboscado. Now they're working it out of that back line. Turnbull will have to work from behind. Couldn't take the mark, but nullified the contest. Now have a crack with the loose ball. Won't work out, though. Kicking it forward is McMurray. Out on the full. Waratah, is there time for them to load up and kick another goal in this quarter? Or do Wanderers have an opportunity to turn over? Well, there it is. Neither of them will have anything. It's quarter time here at Tracy Village. 1-5-11. Wanderers trailing Waratah 2-2-14. Magro with Waratah's 2 goals and Eddie Simpson with a ripper out of the ruck contest. The Wanderers' sole goal scorer. Who do you see as best that quarter, George?
Yeah, I really like the work of Collis early on. I think Collis and Turnbull for me for the Waratahs have been very hot on the ball. Haven't been able to exactly see a standout just yet from the Wanderers, but I do like Bo O'Connell.
Yeah, Bo O'Connell and Brady Newman probably the 2 best there.
Yeah.
We'll be back for the second quarter action right after this quarter time break.
Goes for home and it's nailed, an absolute rip sorter. From the pocket.
Well, back at Tracy Village Oval for round 15, the Foundation Cup here. And what's been a muggy afternoon so far, and a tight one on the scoreboard. The home side, the Wanderers, 1-5-11. Trail the Waratahs 2-2-14. And what's been a very interesting game so far, Will, hasn't it? Despite Waratah's early field dominance, it hasn't shown on the scoreboard so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we sort of saw a game of tides in that quarter. Sort of start off pretty even. Waratah got on top early with their 2 goals, and Wanderers slowly sort of against the run of play got back into it with a handy goal from Eddie Simpson, and then obviously as well couldn't quite convert, but you can see from those 5 behinds that they definitely applied some pressure on the scoreboard. So that 3-point margin probably accurate. Yeah, interesting to see how the 2 sides back it up this quarter.
Absolutely. There is Big Ed Simpson back in the ruck to contest with Kirby. Only moments away from centre bounce. Referees give the all clear.
So ball goes up in the middle now. Simpson, he got that one. Carlin got a second hit out down. That won't count the Statsman, not for a hit out, I don't think. And they work it forward, but first to it will be Daniel Clee. Running to it now as well as Matty Motlop, but Marcus Waddy, he was first to it, got a hand to it just as it headed over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Certainly disguised that well. I didn't see another Waratah player in sight there. Stick under pressure, gets it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Kirby gets a hit out down there. McFarlane running through, brought to ground by Turnbull. Good strong tackle, and he's paid it. Turnbull goes forward to a big strong lead there from Hoare. Hoare will look to move quickly, hope to target there. Outstretched, couldn't take it. Weitra, he now rebounds from 50, running onto it. Eddie Simpson, there's the 2 Eddies out there. Marcus Waddy, a long way from home. Just kicks it inboard, a bit beyond Hoare. Now comes back there to Crocker. Crocker gets a handball over. Kicked down the line and hoped the target again. Had a couple to beat in the air. Went through his hands. Collis running very strong. Couldn't take it. Brady Newman gets a handball out. Collis ends up with it in his hands, and it's a free kick being paid Wanderers' way. And just looking at his work rate today, George, Dill Collis is probably another one right up there in discussions for Nichols medal. I'm hearing Jared Stokes still land, and definitely on his pre-Christmas form. Baxter Mensch are probably the 3 leaders. Mensch, from what I understand, might not play a lot more this year, but you got to put Dill Collis' name up there as well.
Oh, absolutely. Side competition-wise, has been one of Waratah's best players all year.
O'Connell, he picks the ball up from a stray handball, running through plenty of space, kicks it forward. He finds his target there in Brenton Motlop. He looks forward, instead goes semi-laterally to Arbin, and Arbin kicks on goal. Umpire moves back, kicks the first to second quarter. Wanderers hit the lead, 2-5-17, 3 points over Waratah, 2-2-14.
Yeah, they like that one, the Wanderers crowd as well, as he fires it through. A home side, of course, in this round 15 Men's Premier League Foundation Cup match. And yeah, getting yourself off the mark in the second quarter is a perfect way to start. And good goal there too from Nathan Arbin.
Ball coming back to the middle now. See if Wanderers can back that up with another foray forward. Kirby on Simpson in the ruck. Kirby uses his body well. It's a mud pit in the middle there. Just look at Brody Carroll and you can see that. Here comes O'Connell now. In fact, he wasn't first to it. Handball comes back to Turnbull. Turnbull being harassed there by Cabillo. Got a disposal away, but the pressure was too much. Now Cabillo will have an opportunity, gets a handball out to O'Connell. O'Connell in space. He kicks it down the line. Doesn't go over the boundary line. Kept alive somehow against all odds. Thorne paddles it between some legs, kicks it forward. He'll be first to it again. Tackled, but got a handball out. Here's Tyson White, tight angle.
Oh, there you go.
What a goal there from just to behind, sorry.
To see both of us, it
yes.
looked really good.
Crowd gave it a cheer as well, which probably read too much into from the other side of the field. O'Dwyer, he'll bring it back into play. Goes long to the big man, Kirby. Gives away a free kick. Kirby does there, and probably there. Simpson, he will play on and kick it long. Oh, Thorne flew there. Not sure if that was the right move. And McFarlane goes for a snap on his wrong foot and hits the wrong side of his boot out on the full.
Looks good when it comes off, but certainly doesn't when it doesn't. Prime example there.
Emboscado, I think this is bringing it back in again.
Important kick, this one.
It's down the line. Kirby went for the one-hander but couldn't take it. He's now wrapped up. Gets a handball out. Probably just the nick of time, and Eddie Morris runs onto it. Kicks it to a man there on the run in the middle. In Hall. Hall goes forward to Magro. Goes over the top, putting pressure on Dylan Dos Santos, wearing his helmet today. And takes it over the boundary line, but there'll be a free kick being paid Dos Santos' way against Magro. Magro not too happy.
Yeah, certainly cleverly done by the defender there, just to coax in that free kick and get his team out of pressure for now.
Dos Santos' kick flying through the side was Cabillo trying to intercept, but he couldn't. Will be a free kick going Waratah's way. Or it's going Wanderers' way, sorry.
Yeah. Not sure exactly what transpired there on that far side. The Eagles will come away.
So that kick, just a high one looking for distance. O'Sullivan contested in the air now. It's on the ground. Carroll again, tough as nails, just doing the nitty-gritty bits. A kick out on the full, so Wanderers slowly but surely making their way down the line. That kick will go inside 50. Oh, superbly placed. Andrew gets it to Kirby. Now gets it to Morris. And now they're away through Crete. He kicks it to the lead of Magro, a long way from home. Pushed in the back. Free kick paid there against Dos Santos. So one goes the other way for Magro. He now kicks it to the lead of Hope. Goes through their hands. Running back to it very strongly is Benulis. It just touched through, couldn't quite get there in time. McLean, he'll do the kick out here. Umpire Stark just says he'll have to reset. I think there might be something else. It's just out of our view here, Tracy Village Stadium. Not sure if you call it a stadium, George. Yeah. Tracy Village, we'll call it. Just leave it simple. That kick along and beats the pack. Fijo, who was good early, but sort of dropped off after the first 5 minutes of the game. Couldn't take it cleanly. Kirby's kick wasn't taken by Morris. Now goes out the back through Arbin. Kicked the only goal of this quarter Arbin has. That kick will be intercepted. Now he works it forward. Collis all by himself at centre-half forward. Bullet-like pass finds him beautifully. Hope offers a lead from full forward. He'll go there into the pocket. Good kick, good mark, good link-up from Waratah.
Yeah, brilliantly done there. Again, from one of the better players on the field there, Dylan Collis, to get it out wide to Darcy Hope. And for his side, they'd hope he'd kick it through. Very tight angle, though. Umpire Stark pushing right up against that boundary line.
In he comes. It's a good kick. It's a high kick. Straight through the middle. And Waratah reclaims the lead. 3-3-21. They're leading Wanderers 2-6-18.
Yeah, it certainly looked like the angle wasn't an issue there for Darcy Hope, and follows on some good form in that representative game last weekend as well. leading the line there for the Buffaloes, and gets off the mark for his Waratah side this afternoon. And that reclaims that lead, as you mentioned.
So back in the middle of the ground now. Goal apiece this quarter. In fact, it's a goal and a point apiece for the quarter. 7 points each they've added. Ball hits that mud bowl. Morris gets boot to ball and works it forward out of there. Hoare just edges his way into a good position. There's Cooper Murley trying to get a hand to it. Youngster from the club, played very well a few weeks ago when I called him in the under-18s game, and good to see him playing at the top level. There's Carroll, gets a handball out to Cree. Cree inside 50, running back with the flights, Magro. Nothing in that, despite the calls from the crowd. He picks it up, but he's tackled over the boundary line.
He certainly knows how to attempt to ask for a free
Absolutely,
kick.
yeah. He's look, I think there's a difference in coming from a, well, I'll say a junior water polo background, a water polo background nonetheless. There's definitely a difference in playing for free kicks and in, you know, feigning a trip over. And I think Jaden Magro does it pretty well. He knows how to play for them, absolutely. Here's Thorne now. He'll look to cross at half back. Not a good kick, though, and made Newman work and can't get there. Turns it over, so Hoare goes forward to Carroll. Carroll takes a mark. Captain Courageous will go back off the mark. This should probably be on his range, but not beyond him.
No, certainly not, but it's just controlling the power versus accuracy input here from the Tars skipper, whether he can keep its course all the way through as it goes through the middle two.
Carroll comes in. Just doesn't have the distance in him. And through from behind. Had his best year last year, Brody Carroll, and added goal kicking as a tool to his game. Hasn't hit the scoreboard as much this year, but would be very handy for Coach Ayres to know that he's got him there if he needs a small, crafty forward there. Taylor will take it from full back. And he played a very good game last week as well, sort of a lockdown role on the South Freo forwards. Kicks it down the line now. That kick intercepted, though, from Benulis, who's certainly a big fella, isn't he? Kicks it to the lead of Hope in the pocket. Again, just perfectly placed, and Hope took it cleanly on his chest over the fingertips of Dos Santos. And what a kick that was from Benulis.
Very good kick there. Just plucked it out of the sky, the centre of the park, and hit it forward. And his big forward in Darcy Hope's collected it, and he can line up now for his second of the afternoon. Perhaps identical kick, just on the other side of the forward
potentially even tighter that last one.
A bit more favourable this one.
Good position for the camera. That one goes through. Good work from Darcy Hope. His second for the quarter as well, and he joins Jaden Magro as a dual goal scorer today. They extend their lead out to 9 points. 4-3-27 Waratah leading Wanderers 2-6-18. Almost 13 minutes through the second quarter here at Tracy Village.
Yeah, it might have been quite a few rounds ago calling the Battle of the Beaches game out at Gardens against the Tigers, and although we didn't have much impact in terms of scoring, I just very much liked the movement of Darcy Hope, and I guess now he's finally getting reward for his effort. You always like a forward player that knows how to get down the ground and take a mark, and combine that with lethal accuracy, and, well, you're on there.
I think we've seen that with Magro today as well, and even he's been a bit quieter, but Marcus Waddy, they've got forwards who definitely know how to do the two-way running, which as a coach you'd love to see. That kick goes forward for Wanderers. It'll be a free kick going Waratah's way in the back line here through Crocker. Crocker goes out, finds Hoare for a short one to Carlin. But umpire's given a free kick, 50-metre penalty going to Hoare. Missed that one. Not sure if it was encroach on the mark. He'll play on and go inside. Oh, good spotting. Finds his ruckman in Kirby, who's just moved to full forward at the start of that last centre bounce. So we'll see if Kirby, who's having a pretty good game today, can get some reward on the scoreboard. Comes in, kicks it. Likes that. And Waratah just building a lead here. They move to a 15-point margin, 5-3-33. Wanderers still on that 2 goals, 6-18.
Yeah, that might start to be a little concerning there for Eagles coach Aaron Motlop there. Just noticing that the pressure factor has just fallen off a little bit for the Eagles. They need to just reassert themselves into the game, get around the contested ball a little bit more and put their bodies on the line, try and lift the spark back up. But certainly a couple more here and Waratahs might be in and far away.
You look at that forward line at the moment for Waratah, and it's Magro, Kirby, Hope all played alongside Taylor, Newman and McLean in last week's rep game. So plenty of talent down the right of the screen. Now, opposition. Today's clash. Benulis going up, but Simpson gets a hit out and slung without it was Morris against O'Connell. Morris getting involved in the mud as well today. That kick goes in the forward line. Magro at the fall of it, can't take it cleanly. Running onto it there will be Booth. He can't take it either. Collis running in, ball just floating around like a bar of soap. Weitra, he kicks it out of the back line there. Nicky put his body on, trying to get to its Crocker as well. Nicky gets a handball out to O'Connell. O'Connell, gee, he's been able to find some space today. It's been his perk at the moment. That kick inside 50, couldn't hit the target cleanly. Running through and getting low there was Fuller. Now comes out to Jerome Motlop. Handball over the shoulder won't work. And Waratah kicking it into space but trying to maintain possession. They can't do it. We'll have a boundary throw in Wanderers' forward pocket.
Yeah, important here for the Eagles. They need to get Simpson hopefully around this if he is on the pitch and try and get it off to an advantage. I'd like to see if Bo O'Connell can get around the drop of the ball.
So the hit out can't be taken by the Wanderers. Gets very close to the boundary line. We'll have another crack at that one. No, he won't. Kept alive. And running onto it, Matty Motlop snaps on goal. Misses by a long, long way out on the full.
Yeah, disappointing there from forward with a lot of experience as O'Connell comes off for a spell now.
Replaced by McFarlane, so 2 very handy plays in yellow and gold today, or yellow and blue I should say. Yellow and gold. O'Dwyer, he'll come in, go long down that far side. Newman was the target there, or not the target rather, but looking to intercept. Again, just knowing where to be at the contest. That ball over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in. Simpson on Benulis. Now comes out the back seal. Wrapped up in a tackle. Gets a handball away just in the nick of time. Now from Booth over to the running Morris. Hoare couldn't take the mark, so he'll wrap Newman up in the tackle instead. We'll have a ball up about 80 metres out from goal. Just punched forward there from Benulis, and now kicked high. Hope lurking. Does he take the mark? No. Newman's appealing for it. Umpire calls play on. Carlin gets it out to Magro. Magro on his trusty left, goes through. And he'll take that every day of the week. His 3rd of the game, and extends the lead out now to 21 points.
Yeah.
6-3-39, Waratah. In fact, sorry, that's a behind. So he's missed it.
Looked a little too confident, I guess. The reaction from the crowd.
A confident applause from the crowd as well. They're right next to us here, so not always, or a bit more easily influenced, shall we say. Collis is paid a free kick there. And offered a 50 as the crowd has appealed for.
Yep, so it looks like perhaps that goal that might have just been wiped will be re-added shortly. Angle certainly won't be a problem, and distance looks more than achievable from the TAR's vice-captain.
Don't put the moz on him, George.
I'm confident. Surely.
Comes in, he kicks it.
Ooh, bit of a sidestep from the goal umpire, but
he just gets it through. And George lives to fight another day after.
That's right.
Nearly jinxing him.
Had the confidence there in Collis. He does me well and really does add a handy lead there to the scoreboard. So 6-4-40, plays to 6-18. And again, you are watching the Round 15 Foundation Cup TIO NTFL 22-23 season this afternoon at Tracy Village Oval. Just approaching time on now, the second quarter.
Ball goes up. Simpson gets a hit out down. Almost thrown through the mud there from Arbin. I think the umpire's called it that way as well. So it'll go to Carroll. Carroll's got a lead from Hope a long, long way away. Don't know if he's quite got the distance on him there. Instead, he'll just look to play on and instead go to his ruckman, Kirby. He's behind the pack, hit it hard. So play it down. Carroll will have another crack at it. Takes up here, goes inboard to Morris. Beautifully weighted kick to Morris. Carroll lurking, waiting for it again. Doesn't look like Morris will go there. In fact, he does. Carroll takes it. And looking forward, there's not a lot, so he just goes a short, sharp one, finds Seal. There's a lot of players down there. A lot of traffic to navigate. And Newman, who would have thought that he'd take a mark there? He has. Even in the wet, he just knows where to find himself and he can pluck them.
Strong, strong hands.
Wanderers go out the other side now. Intercepted though, and here comes Waratah. He's been pretty good in the back half that first quarter. Now goes to Hope. Hope couldn't take the mark. A double fist again from Wanderers. Might work out though. Here comes Clee. Clee kicks it out long to the boundary line. No one in particular. Interesting to see what the umpire calls.
Out in the full, I thought, of a signal.
Deliberate. I think she's paid it. I think that's Andrew kicking long. Again to the hot spot. Out the back is Magro. Ran into a tackle. And again, almost played for the free kick, but the umpires let it go. Waddy with the tackle. Again, play didn't have the ball. So Dos Santos just throws it, gets a high loopy one up. Collis takes a mark. And outbodies the ruckman and Eddie Simpson. It's a free kick paid though. I'm just trying to work out who it's going to. It is going to Collis. In fact, I think it is just being paid for that mark. Just a bit of confusion among the players on field there. So we saw Hope kick a goal from about this position earlier. Collis comes in. And that one just the wrong side of the post, so they edge out again with 31-point lead. Sorry, a 23-point lead. My maths is well off there. Taylor plays on, almost realised and regretted it straight away, so just goes short to Thorne. Thorne's got Newman long, doesn't want to go to him. Instead, he goes to Fijo. Newman again appealing for it just in front of us here. Looks like he'll go there, but he's got a couple to beat now. He'll crumb it at the bottom, have another crack at it. And just rolls over the boundary line. Brenton Motlop also involved there trying to get a hand on it. Simpson on Benulis in the ruck just in front of you. Ball goes over the back. Waddy trying to get his hands to it. Simpson paddles it back. Carlin gets the handball back. That kick has hit his teammate in the head, I think. And comes towards the boundary line just in front of us. McLean takes it over. Good pressure from Waddy on the ball there as well. So Kirby back in the ruck after a pretty long break, but well-deserved break. Simpson got that one down. I think that was Turnbull, who's also joined the chorus with Mud, can barely read his number. Now comes over the top to Waddy. Waddy kicks it to the hot spot. There is Hope. Can't take the mark, goes out the back, just goes through for a behind. Couldn't get boot to ball quick enough. They're definitely peppering that forward line. Waratah, it's been down there the last 10 minutes or so, if not more. But I think they've only got about the 2 goals in that time to account for it. So now comes back to Taylor. Not sure what he was thinking there. Thought he was playing soccer. Missed the ball completely. Turnbull picks it up, gets a handball out. That's a laser beam-like pass. Perfect to Benulis.
A great kick out there, and Benulis just space by himself and a bit more. And that will go after the siren. Siren's just blown here at Tracy Village Oval to take us to half-time, but prior to that, we will see if Tom Benulis can really extend this lead out for the Tars. Almost like a free kick. No one else behind the goals, and he converts it.
So half-time at 7-5-47. Waratah leading the Wanderers 2-6-18. 29-point lead and a good first half from Waratah, particularly that second quarter. We'll be back after our half-time break to bring you the second half here from Tracy Village. In fine form today, and that's another good kick from him. He's going to Shannon. Shannon gets a handball off and gets it back. Little 1-2, now has a shot on goal. Beautiful kick. Nice. Great running goal. Him was to the lead of Evans. Couldn't mark it. Set up. Hooper picks it up, gets through a few, gets a handball out as he's tackled. Handball will come back. Wilson snaps on goal. Beats the fingertips of the defender and goes through. What a goal that was from Sean Wilson from full forward. Dunstan too busy deliberating with the umpire. He goes to full forward now. He had 2 to beat. Smith roving. What can he do? He's taken down, got a handball out. And goal from Southern Districts. Just lurking at full forward there was Sam McManus. He gets his first of the afternoon. He's unlucky there, Joe. Just found himself in the wrong position with the ball at the wrong time. Good kick from Wilson. It's gone long. It goes out the back. Can he get a boot to ball? He can. Instant reply from Nightcliff again. So they extend the lead again out to 10 points. Top. I think that was Hammond. He got a handball back inboard. Now running through is Politis. Politis runs onto it in space. It's being hunted down. Kicks it inside 50. Ball bounces over the back. Tigers run into open goal. And is that
Shawnee Wilson?
Shawnee Wilson. He's kicked his second for the day. He can't take it. He kicks it to Brody Philo. He couldn't take the mark, but he rolls around, almost held without it, plays for it. Umpire takes it, pays advantage, and that's a goal to Nightcliff. They're really putting a bit of a buffer on. It's gone to Ryan Moo. Sorry, not Ryan Moo. That's Daniel Quinn.
Daniel caught 4 to Nightcliff's 5 goals, 8.
It's a 28-point, I guess, extension or addition to the margin. It's another shot on goal from that tight pocket. I think it's Mentha. He'll play on and snap. A few more words of encouragement from the crowd. That one another behind, or is it a goal?
No, they worked that time.
It's a goal. So maybe that's the trick. Go the snap from that angle.
to Mitchell, who spilt the mark but had time to recover. Kicks inside 50. Oh, gets past everyone there. Stafford just waiting at the back, falls into his lap, runs around, kicks it on the outside of the boot this time, and he's got his third grey out of the 3 goals that Buffaloes have kicked. Orlando Turner, but not much closer to goal, and there's still a couple of kicks away as Turner goes long inside 50 now. Big leap, but Eddie Betts at the back of the pack. So he's only about 20 metres out, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle. So Eddie's on the board for the first time tonight, and a much needed goal by Palmerston as we approach quarter time, Gray. And Buffaloes tidy up at the back and bring it out to the near side, but there's plenty of Palmerston jumpers out here as Big Pedersen presents himself and takes that intercept mark in front of Bolch.
I think he's the key to Palmerston making a real impression.
Kicks going all the way to the line and just gets over. That's a great goal. And on the left, hooks it in towards the goal square. Oh, Pedersen dropped what he should have taken. The hand pass comes out to Jared Stokes. He floats it up. It's not going to score, I don't think. A Bolch comes in over the top, claims the mark, and it's been paid.
Well, I'll show that, Davies, that I can play. A very good mark.
So kicks on the way, no problem at all. And Darwin Buffaloes with the first goal of the quarter. Across the back there, gets the hand pass forward, but another headband there. Pendlebury, his numbers changed for those viewing on the screen, but the ball comes out to Josiah Farah here. He has a shot for goal. It's going all the way. I think he's floated it through. He has just had enough on it. Put that up. The big kick comes back in, and Mark Spilk back here, and oh yes, he's a kick into the goal square. Bolch is there again, and he's got 2 for the quarter. So just a bit untidy by Palmerston down there. Ran themselves into trouble, and Darwin pounced. And Thomas Bolch got on the end of it for his second goal for the quarter. He's had a couple of bounces now. A third bounce all the way around that outer side. Works down to half forward. Gets the kick inside forward. 50 now. And out on the lead was Betts. And the umpires had judged that he was being held in the marking contest.
At Carlton and Adelaide, so
probably practiced it a bit more than plenty of the others, and no problem whatsoever. And Eddie gets himself on the board for his second goal, and Stafford dropped the mark out there, but Bowles, his teammate, swoops on it and now kicks long down inside forward 50. Bolch in the marking contest, the ball's punched forward. Jared Stokes swoops on it now, kicks towards goal, and he's a beautiful finisher. And Jared Stokes, if he didn't have
got a lot of mates. Tom Gaydon for point, gets it across, dropped what he should have taken, picked up and a tackle taken, play on called the umpire, correctly so, wouldn't have been taken much longer because he was tackled, picked up, I reckon that was Tottenham, kicks it inside forward and there's the first goal, and the first goal he scored 3 minutes 33 seconds into the second term.
Shane Thorne getting the goal, the first one, was the first one there.
Braden McLean. Point, working hard, inside forward 50. Here's their big chance, off the side of the boot, and they've got it. They've finally got a goal, and that was Silva Yusuf, a goal to Point, and that puts them back in the game. Not noted goal kicker, 55 metres from goal, man on the mark, will have to kick from about 60, gives it plenty, makes the square, Simpson down there, ball on the ground, kicked off the ground, and well done. That was Brodie Newman. We normally see him at centre half back. He's actually kicked a goal off the ground. That was a gift. Trouble for Wanderers. McLean. Here's the call. Does it nicely.
Oh.
Handballs to Penrith. Penrith kicks the goal. That was just a comedy of errors by the defence of Wanderers, and Ethan Penrith has kicked a goal. Toss it up. Jones grabs the ball out of the ruck. Simpson finishes up with it. Loses possession. Running around onto the right boot. And a goal. Did you pick that player up? Only as far as a point defender, and that's Henry Tregowath. Tregowath goes inside 50. Can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Silver Yusuf kicks the goal. That is the nail in the coffin. Silver Yusuf.
It's his second goal. We thought he'd got another one earlier on, but it was touched off the boot. But he's now got 2 goals for the game.
Because Point just move around and use handball very, very well. D'Souza, been a good player, but missed the mark. Ball on the ground, in dispute, picked up Point. Kick on goal. Jones has got another one for the team. Andrew Jones, he becomes a multiple goal scorer. Really good umpiring again. We've praised the umpires, and that was another good one.
Smother.
But kicked into the man on the mark, which is an absolute sin. Smith goes forward, gets it out in the Penrith direction. Penrith runs his full measure, gets steadies, kicks on goal, and nails it.
Yep. Been a good player for him tonight, Penrith. They've given him so much room. He's got 3 goals now.
Far out to score. Nice kick. Got to have someone to take a mark. Simpson can't get. Cabillo front and square, and he gets the goal. That's Keelan Fijo. Keelan Fijo has a goal. Well done to him.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Prior to the commencement of the third quarter here, round 15 men's Premier League action here, TIO NTFL season 2022-23. It's the Foundation Cup between Wanderers and Waratah, and Waratah take into it a pretty handy lead. 7 goals, 7 behinds, 49. Lead Wanderers 2 goals to 18, and it's been a fairly interesting game thus far, hasn't it, Will?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Waratah definitely deserving of that lead. They dominated that second quarter. Best on ground, I'd say, at this stage would be Brodie Carroll. Like, there's no clear standout. Brodie's probably just back to his best, just doing the little things right. Obviously, the sole captain this year and just leading from the front as well. You can see his leadership on display today. Darcy Hope also among the best in that quarter. 2 goals he kicked then. Jade Magro kicked 2 in the first. So definitely a lot of firepower up forward for Waratah. Let's see if they can add to it in this quarter, or if in fact Wanderers, who've probably been led by Bo O'Connell, but have also liked the work of Brodie Newman and even Nathan Arbon, who kicked their single goal of the second quarter. See if those 3 can help lead them forward. Just waiting for the umpire to commence. And we'll have Kirby in the ruck on Simpson again. Fascinating battle. Kirby probably winning at the moment. There's Simpson with his socks up today. Kirby gets it down. Eddie Morris almost first to it. His teammate got to it first, though, and Newman intercepts again. He's been fantastic. Here's McFarlane out to this near side wing. Made JJ Motlop work for it, and he won't get to it first. Instead, it will be Crocker. Crocker gets it back to Jack O'Sullivan. Picking it up and getting through the traffic there to Turnbull. Oh, the handball was a straight. McFarlane, he got it over the top. Again, made his teammate work. Joel Cabillo, that was. Kirby offers a big tackle, almost gets in his back. Umpire calls it that way as well. Free kick going the way of Wanderers. Keelan Fijo.
Swarming them at the moment early on. The Tars.
Goes, oh, gee, that's not a good kick. Collis intercepted. It might work off for them. Matt Motlop gives it off to Weitra. Weitra inside 50. Kick couldn't connect. That kick was a shocker out there. And so snap on goal comes. Just the wrong side of the post. That was Weitra again, having another crack at it. O'Dwyer. Kick it back in. Plays on from fullback. Will come to Carlin. Carlin takes a mark. Very good on the lead, Carlin. I've noticed he just manages to burst away from his opponent like that.
Yeah.
Which, as we mentioned, in wet weather like this is pretty handy. Crocker will play on. Kick goes down the line and taken by Benulis almost from nowhere. He kept going, went to Waddy. Waddy had a few to dance around. We'll have to go back to Benulis. Benulis couldn't take it. Now goes to Simpson. Simpson gets it back and the kick goes forward. O'Dwyer collects it, gets a handball off to support there in Crocker. Crocker goes forward again. In fact, this is Crocker now. Got it from Carlin. Crocker goes short to Turnbull. Just makes it. That was about 15 metres on the dot, that one, I'd say. I probably would have said about 13.2, but umpire didn't see it that way. He goes back to Crocker again. He's got Morris by himself calling for it. Won't go there. Goes further. Ball comes to the bottom of the pack and Newman there to rove it. Kicks it down the line. Kieran Andrew running back takes the mark. He goes the short one now. Finds Waddy. Tars just building, but they need to do something with it, make the most of their play. Now with Seal. Seal plays on. Goes out that far side. Kick intercepted. Now with Clee. Clee works it through. Carroll, he's applying pressure. Carlin waiting, he'll get the ball on the fly. Now goes to Morris. Morris goes to Collis and they're running forward now. Goes back through traffic. Kicks it to Kirby out on the wing. He'll have to be up there among the best as well today, George.
Very handy. It's a good kick in, but kick not so great.
Just chopped off. He'll go out to McFarlane now. McFarlane can take it. He's got a player on if he wants. Instead, he'll just run around in circles just about. Goes to centre half back. Weitra under pressure. McFarlane will have to mop it up. Goes a little soccer side kick.
Yep.
Now running back to its Darwin Dobson.
Oh.
Out to Collis. Collis runs through, gets in space, kicks on goal. That goes through. Umpire barely moves. So Dill Collis kicks a goal in that last quarter. He kicks another one in this one and extends the lead again. 8-7-55. They lead by 36 points. 6 straight goals. Wanderers on 2-7-19.
Yeah, perfect start to this third quarter. Would have wanted Coach Ryan Ayres, and they've certainly delivered on that thus far. Waratah, the pressure has been great, and a good first shot on goal by probably one of the better players on the field in Dylan Collis. Gets his second of the afternoon and extends the Waratah lead. Perhaps starting to be a alarming issue for the Wanderers if you're on that side of the fence, because they have been pretty clean this afternoon.
Kirby gets a hit out there. Morris, first to it, Brave on the ball. Wanderers' opponent just ran past him, and Newman again intercepting. Finds Weitra. If not for Newman, what do you think the margin would be, George? It'd be much bigger than the 36 points we've got now.
Newman, Weitra, Taylor, I think if they had taken a week off from that rep game, it would have been a much different game.
O'Connell now at half forward, just working it. His teammate wanted to keep going. Goes to a lead. O'Dwyer doing what Newman does down the other end. Intercepts and switches, goes to Kirby. Kirby comes back. I think that was Carlin. Finds Morris. In fact, it was Crocker. Sorry, he goes back to Crocker, getting those two confused a couple of times now. Comes to Kirby. We'll go and find Booth. Booth goes inboard laterally to Morris. Morris plays on and goes forward. Turnbull picks it up, snaps into the centre corridor. Made his teammate run back with the flight. They couldn't take the clean mark, but Joel Crocker does. He now comes out to Kirby. Kirby will handball it onto O'Dwyer. Wasn't looking. Not great communication there. And there's a trip going the way of Wanderers. Motlop just sizing up Kirby. Not sure if that's really something he wants to get involved in, and he's just turned it over. You can hear the Bronx cheers from the crowd here. And yeah, JJ Motlop. Not sure what's being said there, but he's just sized up the big fella.
150.
He's spoken back to the umpire as well. And Kirby's just politely letting him know about it, tells him to get on your bike, and off he goes.
Must be a good fisherman, Kirby, because he's certainly winding Motlop in. Just keeps biting.
Absolutely took the bait.
I was actually going to go on a bit of a tangent there and really give props to Kirby. For a big ruckman, he is getting around the ground very well for his team, almost creating that extra man in a lot of their marking contests. He's been peeling wide and just, you know, he's not really being followed as much by his opposition number, and then in Simpson.
So in comes Kieran Andrew. Just hits the post. And you might have just seen on screen there as well the runner just telling Kirby to calm down a bit, but that's about as, he's a pretty placid bloke, that's about as right up as he gets. So if that's the result, you're not too upset about that. Would have been handy if it was through the big sticks, but little sub-story to this one will follow throughout the game, George.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep our eyes on Motlop. He's being told to go away and out.
Taylor kicking it out towards the big fella. Now comes out to Arbin. And a kick from Newman, long and high. Bounces over them all. Motlop, he gets a handball to Arbin. Arbin intercepted by Dwyer, takes over the boundary line. We've just got a TARS player down. Our last kick was, I think he might have copped a nasty hit in play. Ball and play will resume. Ball thrown in. Cree takes it off the deck, wrapped up. And Motlop gives away another free kick there. And another 50 against Motlop. Not having a good afternoon at all, Motlop.
Umpire Stark watching him profusely, getting...
So Cree, he goes down the line. As Benulis marks it, he has. That's a great mark from Benulis in the forward pocket.
Yeah.
And I think is that the crowd's just getting involved.
Sarcastic
Motlop's,
encouragement as he comes off for a spell.
The Bronx cheers.
His coach will surely be a little disappointed in him, you think. And
again, swayed by the crowd. I thought it might have been another 50 paid, but Benulis will line up from the pocket. Not an easy shot for him. And come in. Confidence for the young man. Just to behind, though. His kick in finds Bo O'Connell. In fact, they'll take it again. McLean from fullback. Looking to come out. Morris gets a handball over the top. Arbin intercepts. Good strong tackle there from Waddy. Umpire Stark will ball it up. It's down there. O'Connell toe taps it. Comes back though to Crocker. Crocker on his left. Short, sharp one. Can't find Morris on the full, but he's in space. He on his left as well. Goes to Hope. Beautiful kick. Beautiful mark.
Yep.
And if
paid as well.
If it's not paid, I think there might have been a free kick in there, but I think it is paid.
Just strong intent for the ball there, Hope. If, like you said, he wasn't paid for the direct mark, certainly a free kick. It takes a lot to stop Darcy Hope when he's intent on marking the ball.
So here comes Hope.
Lining up for his third.
Bit of feedback from the crowd. Doesn't listen to it, does he? He just kicks truly. And as you said, his third of the afternoon. This margin getting well beyond Wanderers' reach.
It's some percentage at this stage for the Tars. Just want to keep their heads. Wanderers going into his final quarter and a half of footy. So they don't want any ill discipline giving away any further free kicks. Just inviting the Tars to capitalise, and pending of course, with 3 rounds after this one to go.
And they've got the bye next week, Waratah as well. Then a big game against St Mary's and a clash against Palmerston to finish it off.
Pending a real mudslide from the districts, that potentially top spot could still be in play. That would take a lot for...
They'd need to win both in districts to lose both, but they're probably, touch wood, safe in second position, with St Mary's going down last night. In fact, after today's result, they'll be within a game of districts. So yes, that position could be within striking distance. A free kick paid to McLean, back to the play at hand. Gets off for the lead in that forward flank. He's not taking it. Instead, he'll come out the near side. It's a good kick to Shane Thorne, but Kabilo got his hands in the way. Kieran Andrew will kick it out. He finds Waddy. Waddy goes back. Short one over the top. He'll find Hall by himself, uncontested. Goes to run it in Carroll. Carroll keeps going a bit quiet this quarter, but still good. And that's a beautiful kick to Dill Collis. Dill Collis will come back, roll around and play on. Good kick in the forward line and a free kick paid. 50 metres against Kirby this time. And he's throwing his weight around a bit.
Yeah, Santos just trying to hold them together.
Looks like they're just getting under his skin a bit. Free kick paid against Darcy Hope there, and Kirby's thought it went his way, tried to take advantage, but given away the 50. So Taylor from about the middle of the ground. Opportunity here for the Wanderers. They've been very rare this quarter. Just goes a torpedo. Simpson lurking at that one. Had 3 to beat in the air. Benulis was one of them who made his way to ground, and they get a free kick going their way. Advantage not paid. Umpire, is he reaching for his... No, I thought he might have been reaching for his pocket there again. Bit of fire just brimming in this one, in the Foundation Cup here at Tracy Village. So Benulis looks to go out that far side. Starts with a short kick out to Hoare. Can't find him on the lead. He goes back to Gooch. Gooch will have to go back to Hoare. And they're under a bit of pressure. But they come out now and find Jack O'Sullivan. He's been pretty good today as well. I've liked his game. That play doesn't pay off though, and Wanderers have another crack. So the kick isn't good, and Crocker, he finds the ball with it in his hands as well. He's been very good this quarter too. Goes to his captain and Carroll, who plays on, rolls around onto his left, goes down to Collis. Those two have linked up plenty of times today. Goes inboard. Beautifully weighted to Carl, and he'll play on, go to the lead of Magro. Dos Santos did well to get a fist in there. Umpire plucks a free kick out there, going Waratah's way.
It looked like a bit of a push in the back there.
Carlin plays on quickly, goes to the lead of Hope. Just fell short, so Hope will have to work it from ground level. Goes to Collis. Collis on his wrong side will handball it back to Hope. Hope just takes it over the boundary line.
Good field position here, coming past the 15.5-minute mark of this third quarter. Round 15 of Men's Premier League here at Tracy Village Oval. The Foundation Cup between Waratahs and Waratah.
Kirby nearly took it out of the ruck there. Almost slid onto the back of Dos Santos. Ball just trapped underneath them all. 16 minutes gone through this quarter, George, so you wouldn't think there'd be a hell of a lot of time on. Just the 2 goals scored to Waratah. One through Collis and one through Hope. Kirby gets the ball down now. Just kicked long and high. You wouldn't think that'd be a mark. Umpire's called play on. Hits the deck. Newman there to crumb it again. Just rolls on the boot, gets it out of there. Tyson White has a couple to beat. Carroll got his hands involved. Carroll will get it again at ground level. Got another disposal for the tally before it went over the boundary line. It didn't really have an impact. Benulis looking potentially to contest this one by himself. No, Eddie Simpson's coming in now. Goes out the back. Stray handball will be collected by Turnbull. He throws it on the boot. Hoare at half forward couldn't take the mark. Newman could. Ken goes laterally, finds Motlop. Kick down the line. Looking for Brenton Motlop. Have another ball up on that wing.
Yeah, similarly like to Kirby, I do like Newman's movement around the back line for Wanderers. And as you mentioned earlier, where without a player like him, this scoreline might have been very different.
We saw an absolute belting in the women's game just before this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Wanderers failed to score.
They did 192 to zip. So not a great day for the girls in blue and gold, and not shaping up the same way for the men either. Gooch working the ball forward, and Biscardo thrown to the ground without it. He'll get himself a free kick. Finds Carlin at centre half back. He's got Waddy on this near side, and Carroll beyond him. He'll take the first option. The second option still alive, all by himself. Brody Carroll, who'll go out there now. Gooch is running by, but he won't give it off to him. Instead, he'll go down the line to Hoare. Hoare look to play on. Goes over the top to Collis. A bit too much on it, but just enough. Ooh. Collis takes it very easily and pushed the ground after he took it by Clee. Collis plays on, gets on his left. Oh. Probably a bit too cute there, smothered by the big man and rolls over the boundary line. In that game before, Waratah had 3 players with 4 goals. Lauren O'Shea, Steph O'Brien and Naomi Salib, and they had another 4 with 3 goals. So 24 goals kicked from just the 6 players. Not a bad effort at all. Benulis runs around. Good hope the target couldn't take the mark. Here's JJ Motlop back on the field. Didn't get any cheers that time. High kick out. Doesn't find anyone. And so Jack O'Sullivan, in fact, it's come into the hands of Turnbull into that pocket. Magro pushed without it. Offered a free kick.
Oh, I think you'll hope to do the good thing and just, throw across to Magro to...
Again, I think
had a very hot first quarter, but then I believe it's been a bit a little quiet since then.
Yeah, he's kicked 2 in that first quarter. The first 2 goals of the game. And it's should have been up and about, but hasn't really touched a lot of it since then. Coming now.
There you go, makes no mistake.
3 goals to Jaden Magro, and that margin is extended 10-9-69 to 2-7-19. 50 points we've hit. 20 minutes into the third quarter here.
Yeah, and no matter the sport, I think good players can do that. You know, like I said, for the better part of 2 whole quarters being a little bit quiet, but gets a chance to reassert himself into the game, and he makes no mistake there. Jaden Magro, a player of a lot of class, and they'll be wanting to start certainly early discussions about tying him down for next NTFL Men's Premier League season for sure. One of those players you can pretty much build a forward line around. Jaden Magro.
Absolutely, and the beauty of him is he's not a huge player. You don't need to be when you've got Darcy Hope down there, but if he needs to, he can play that key role.
Yep.
Here's Wanderers moving forward, almost intercepted by Waratah at half-back. He's been a bit quiet. Keelan Fijo gets it over the top. JJ Motlop just paddles it back inboard. Waratah going to pick it up as well. Now comes back to Benulis. Benulis has been fantastic in this quarter. Sliding through there was Dom Booth. We'll have a throw-in on that boundary line.
Yeah, I think Waratah have no shortage of key contributors to this game, and certainly, like you said, players like Benulis coming into it as well. Very serviceable this afternoon. Free kick there to Wanderers, advantage paid. A rare opportunity forward.
Tyson White almost tackle without it. McFarlane on his wrong side, just goes a high ball and it's out on the full. So really not getting a sniff at all. In fact, I don't think that will... It didn't register for a score anyway, but it might be a free kick further down the field. No, it's just changing over the balls.
Yet to kick a goal here in this third quarter. We've entered time on, 22 and a quarter minutes or so. Ball comes back in.
Ooh, hit as he marked it. Gets it back off to Gooch. Gooch will come further down. Finds O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan goes well over the top to Waddy. Waddy has a player on Collis. Collis just bodied himself well against Newman. Could sense him coming. Worked that very well. Got to Morris. Morris rolls around on his right again. Kicks it to full forward.
Oh,
that's
nice sleep.
Beautiful from Benulis. He's been a revelation this quarter.
Absolutely. Down back up front, and there's the 3/4 time siren. Blows here at Tracy Village Oval, so a kick for Benulis after the siren. I believe he also had a kick after the siren in the second quarter.
He did, and he converted that one, so...
Good omens certainly will if that's quarters anything to go off.
Can he make it 2 from 2?
clutch time calls for Banula's time. That's his second of the game, and he'll take us into the third quarter here with a Waratah lead, 11-9, 75 lead the Wanderers, 2-7-90.
To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Three-quarter time here at Tracy Village Oval. It is Waratahs with a commanding lead over the Wanderers. Round 15 of Men's Premier League action. It is the Foundation Cup. And it certainly looks like it will be the Waratahs celebrating with that one after this quarter. Of course, anything can still happen, Will, but it does seem like, exactly considering Wanderers failed to score a goal in the third quarter, that this one looks all but wrapped up.
Yeah, just a point they kicked in that quarter. Wasn't the most dominant display from Waratah. They still managed 4-2. And I think with 3 or at least 2 late goals, it's now 56 points. We mentioned that first place position is definitely within range for them. They've got to play, or they've got a bye next week, and they've got St Mary's, which will be a very good clash, and Palmerston, who you'd think they'd win against in the last week. Meanwhile, Southern Districts have a few interesting games. I know they've got Pint coming up. I think they then might have the bye themselves as well, and also Darwin Buffaloes. So Pint and Buffaloes played off in a pretty good contest last night, and Pint in particular flexed their muscles. So Waratah still have a lot to play for, but in this one, particularly with the bye coming up, you'd think they'd just be looking to get through the rest of this unscathed. Best on ground for them would be that man on screen, Arnold Kirby. He's been fantastic. I've also loved Brody Carroll, and particularly coming to life in the second and third quarter, Tom Benulis. Meanwhile, Brody Newman's marked just about anything in that back half for the Wanderers. And I like the work of Dylan Dos Santos in that last quarter. Bo O'Connell was good in the first half, but dropped off a bit. Kirby pushed out in that ruck contest. Umpire lets it go. Turnbull extracts it, gets a handball forward to Morris. Morris almost held, but he'll pick it up on the second crack. Handballs it forward now to Collis. Collis tackled very strongly to the ground by Newman, and Wanderers work themselves away with it through McFarlane. I think that might have been Wheatra. Gets it forward. O'Connell trying to pick it up. Now comes back to Carlin. Carlin feigned a handball off to the left, then took one to the right. Arata couldn't take it, though. He'll get it back from Carlin now on the second attempt. Worked forward. Handball backwards again to Wheatra. Wheatra kicks it inboard now and finds Thorne. Ages like fine wine, Thorne. Still playing very good football.
Ooh. No, nothing in that.
Umpires have been pretty lippy. Not lippy, sorry. They've been pretty quick to blow the whistle, and Emma Stark has done that there today.
I think she allowed it, the initial, and then maybe, was it cleverly done perhaps from McFarlane to kind of draw in that few steps from the Tars defender and force her whistle. So a rare opportunity forward here. Dane McFarlane. No issue with that one converting through. A bit of applause from the the home Wanderers supporters as that one goes through.
Their first goal since the second quarter. Reduces the margin to 50 points. Still a long way left for them in this one.
Yeah, usually when you hear those words, reduces the margin to 50 in the fourth quarter, it's a little bleak, but at least a sign of positivity to start the fourth quarter for the Wanderers.
Umpire just bringing them together in the middle now. Balls it up. Kirby gets another hit out. Will he rove his own? No, McFarlane gets to it first. Waddy playing on the wing. Oh, big hit there. And McFarlane over to O'Connell. Gets a handball over the top. Well done from Kieran Andrew there. Emboscado also getting involved. Wraps up the big man, Ed Simpson. He's dropped the ball. Umpire calls holding. Great work from the young fella against a much bigger opponent. One of the biggest in the league, you'd think. Good kick as well out to Waratah. He couldn't take the mark, nearly juggled it. Gets a handball out with his bum on the deck to Kirby, who's wrapped up straight away, and we'll have another ball up just behind the wing for Waratah. Just forward of it for the Wanderers. Kirby takes it, kicks it forward. Newman hit the deck, just fell over at the wrong time, and he's given a free kick, pushing the back. against Dill Collis, who, again, he's probably been one of the best on ground as well. And could be pushing for the... what a barrel that is from
another one.
From Mitch Taylor.
Oh,
good mark as well. Kieran Andrew back there. Not Kieran Andrew, sorry, Jack O'Sullivan. Comes out now. Intercepted by Matty Motlop. He finds Jerome Motlop, who's in somewhat of a talking point today, hasn't he? And that's a good rundown tackle for the Wanderers. Fijo has taken Crocker to ground, and he'll have a shot. You'd think from just on his measure, looks like it's sort of just on the paint of 50.
Kicking for back-to-back majors as well for the Wanderers. Something they've not been able to do all afternoon.
Gets a handball off to his captain, Taylor. Taylor's kick-off line.
Oh.
It's marked, though.
That's a great mark.
Good work from Big Ed. So Eddie Simpson's kicked one of the goals of the day out of the ruck in the first quarter. Been serviceable in the ruck, but ultimately against a much better opponent on the day.
Puts it through.
Happy with that one. So his second, and Wanderers have the first two of the final quarter. Reduces it to 44. Does that sound any better, George?
In the fourth quarter, I'd probably disagree, but you think you certainly ask Mitchell Taylor after the game whether he meant that or not, and probably did, I think, considering the result. It was a great, again, torpedo of the game, a barrel kick, and Ed Simpson just pretty much like a magnet just retrieved the ball and puts it through for a second. Definitely has been a serviceable player for the Wanderers up forward and in the centre of the park at times, and she managed it just against a better Kirby, I think, indicative of his representative selection last week, backing it up with another monster game. Here's Arnold Kirby.
In the middle, Kirby taps it down. Turnbull will pick it up and roll through. Gets her hands out, clean as you like. They work it forward now. Hope can't juggle a mark. Good work from Taylor behind to get a fist to it. However, there's plenty of Waratah numbers, and that snap-on goal from Booth. Just the wrong side of the post. Will come out, find Nicky. No, he won't. Magro on goal. That one's gone through.
Magro. Magic Magro has 4 and replies instantaneously there for the Tars.
And it doesn't seem like it's been his best day, does it? But 4 goals is pretty handy.
Yeah.
He'll take that on a day like this from him.
Certainly so. Might not have too many more disposals than goals he's actually kicked, but if they come off in a winning side, you can't complain too much with output like that. I guess when you've got supreme ball winners like Carroll and Collis, as long as you're up forward, that Magro is and just kicks the goals, you're not really complaining too much from a coach's standpoint.
Absolutely, and I was just looking in the middle there, and they've got that many gun midfielders they can put in there. They don't always need the best ones in there because it's a pretty formidable lineup no matter what. Here's Nicky now. He works it forward. Getting onto it's Kieran Andrew. Handball comes out. O'Dwyer will put some pressure on McFarlane. You'd think he does. Free kick pulled out of there. I think it's gone for tripping the way of Wanderers. Just back to their midfields. We know that even Magro, he can play middle, but you've got Carroll, Collis, Cree, Turnbull. Nick Hawes sort of played on a wing. Scott Carlin, Eddie Morris.
Yeah.
It's, 5 or 6 names who've just rattled off there, and a lot of them can kick goals as well, so rest forward. Here's McFarlane. Kicked a goal this quarter already. Kicked a second.
Yep. Makes no mistake, Dane McFarlane.
down to a 38-point margin now, is it? No, back down to 44, 45.
That swift reply from Magro ensures that not too much damage was eaten into their lead, but McFarlane certainly adds another one for the Wanderers, and they've kind of outscored themselves in this fourth quarter alone. They had the previous three, so finding their scoring touch, but just seems a bit too late on in this contest.
And the other thing which may or may not be known to the players, but I'm sure it will be the coach Ayres, is that there is a half game in there. So percentage, while there's only 0.9% between first and second place districts and Waratah at the moment, it doesn't really matter for those two. So they wouldn't be too worried if Wanderers peg back a few in this one, as long as they take away the 4 points. And I'd say, equally importantly, don't lose any foot soldiers.
Yes, yep. Massive importance, that.
So Gooch put some pressure on there. Hasn't played the whole season. Hopefully, for their sake, he's around later this year. I know he's been co-captain in previous years, so very well respected head around the club. Ball comes in. Kirby again just muscles himself to the right position. Fijo at the bottom of that pack. Handball comes out to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer to Gooch. Gooch kicks it out this side now to the run of his teammate in Waddy. But getting to it first. And now picking up is Cabillo. And high take there from Cree on Arbin. Arbin, oh, he looked to go quickly. He liked something there. Had a second thought. Waddy, he picks it up off the back now. Now Emboscado, he kicks it long down the line. Hope at the back. Doesn't quite beat the more. Ball bounces the wrong way for him, but he'll get it now. Gets through one, gets a handball off.
A bit of a trip there.
Umpire Stark calls a free kick going the way of Hall for a trip against Taylor. Taylor needs to be careful. He's just conferring with Stark, but we've seen all the umpires have been quick to blow their whistle on talk back today, which fair enough as well, I reckon. They're just doing their job. Waddy just in front of us here. He'll look forward. He's got Big Benulis all by himself in a hole. And I think that's where we go. He's sort of going more towards Hope. Hope couldn't take the mark, ends up thumb on the ground. Held without it almost was Cooper Merley, who's been a bit quiet in the second half. That safe hands there from Nick Gooch in the middle of the ground. And they'll launch forward again. Hope at the back. Oh, good body contact there. Now goes to Deck on top of it.
I want to lock it in here in their forward 50. Tars, maybe.
So ball goes up. Thorne picks it up. He swung 360 and pinged for holding the ball. Great tackle there from Tom Crete. And again, just falls behind those other names you'd think. Turnbull, Carroll, Morris. But has had a very good game today as well.
You kind of find it hard not to gravitate towards the bigger names for the Tars when they are playing well, but Thomas Cree certainly has been serviceable as well. Not many players you can't say that haven't put a shift in for Waratah in these muddy conditions this Sunday afternoon, but see if Cree can rocket one home here.
Oh, he's probably swung around too much on that one. Didn't hit it well at all. Just threw for a behind. Now kick long, Gooch looking to intercept Cree, gets it out to Waddy. Waddy sells some candy beautifully to Taylor, who's gobbled it up. But that kick just did enough. Collis now picks it up.
Oh, so
rolls around on his left. He's kicked into the back of Hope. Paddles it back, bit of tunnel ball. And there's a free kick going Collis's way, just to hit high afterwards. But that was very clever play. Cree wanting to take advantage. Umpire calls it back. Magro offering a very strong lead, but he ignores that. I think he's waiting for Hope to give him something. No, he goes sideways to Crocker. He goes now. Shorter, finds Cree. So Cree had plenty of it the last couple of minutes. He now goes short in to Hoare. Hoare looking to centre it. Had to play on now. Gets around his opponent. Checks side, but well offline. Taylor will bring it back in. Comes out this near side again. Benulis flies. Can't take it, so there's Hoare. Gets a handball off. Didn't really have a lot of power behind it and just trickles out of his hand. There's Booth. Hard on the ball, but gives away a free kick. Just tripping his opponent. Simpson kicks it sideways. Finds McLean. He's been okay today. Gets a handball off now. And Fuller works it forward. McFarlane the target, had 2 to beat.
It just seems as though the Waratah are moving a little bit more freely around the pitch this afternoon. Often finding themselves with, like just that instance, a 2-on-1 advantage. Not much McFarlane could do.
Comes in now. McFarlane ends up with it. Looking to sell a bit of candy and throws it on the left.
Good mark.
Goes straight down the throat of an opposition play. Good kick, but don't know if the execution really quite worked. Neither did that one. O'Connell intercepts it. Got a couple on his train as well. Just works into the forward line on his wrong foot. So not the prettiest kick. Fijo, he now picks it up, and there's plenty of red and white jumpers back there. Tackled without it was Crocker, and he'll get a free kick.
Yeah, much to the displeasure of the Wanderers supporters singing around the goal square.
He's got Waddy offering something short, doesn't like that, so he'll go longer. Finds his ruckman in Kirby. Died off a bit in terms of his general play this quarter, but has still been pretty good in the ruck and had a really good game throughout. O'Sullivan as well, I've liked his game. Kicks it across to Waratah. Waratah keeps going down that far side wing. Finds Collis. Gee, another one who'd be up there in the votes, you'd think. Over the top of Magro. McLean. Tackled by Hoare, and then picking it up was Magro, who was run down by Dos Santos and ping-fouled the ball. Dos Santos wouldn't be too upset with his game, you wouldn't think. He has given away 4 goals, but given the amount of time it's been down there, and he's kept him quiet for sort of a quarter and a half.
Yeah, you definitely take the small wins when they come. I haven't seen too many people this season run down Jaden Magro like that. So
keep in mind he is the leading goal kicker of the comp.
Yep. So I think Dos Santos can be a little satisfied with his effort.
Absolutely. Comes in now. Tap down from Kirby to Carlin. Another one who's been good without setting the world on fire today. Handballed out, O'Connell running through. Trying to will his team forward. So too is this man. McFarlane runs in, handballs it over the top.
Nice.
And Brenton Motlop will just trickle it through for a goal. He's first of the day. Reduces the margin again, 6-7-43. They trail. Waratah 12-12, 84, a 41-point lead.
Yeah, certainly a much better fourth quarter to the Wanderers game overall. I think been a little bit more disciplined as the game's gone on, and certainly their goal scoring outputs reflected well in this final period, but just some of their better players, bigger names, you sort of expect a little bit more from. Of course, Stephen Motlop missing from that team is a huge absence, but you think if all their bigger guns were on fire today, they could have taken it up a little bit more to the Tars, but no disrespect to the Tars, they've been wonderful.
Hit out from Benulis down there.
A high tackle there.
High contact called from the umpire. I think they refer to it as out of play. Looks like umpire Starks agreed with it. Running through now.
Ooh, there goes the boot. Came off there as well.
And he's that player who's lost his boot has almost slipped over in the mud as he's tried to go and collect it again. Back to play, and it's at the bottom of the pack now. Carroll going to try and extract it himself. Looking at their jumpers, I think Rob Tamble's probably beating him for the muddiest jumper out there today.
It's a close race to finish, that's for sure.
Now comes through. Thorne try to get it out. Collis got a handball out to Waratah in the nick of time. Keeping it in front of him there was Cooper Merley. He goes to Turnbull. Turnbull just tumbles it forward. And it goes through to Dobson. Dobson's kick can't be marked. Waratah will have another crack, just paddles it forward again. He's got Carroll on the outside if he wants. Instead, he just... There we go, Carroll handballs it forward. Now goes to Cooper Merley from the paint of 50. Hope looking to mark it. He does. Ooh. Oh, just goes through for a behind, appealing for the free, but I don't think we'll take it. And Taylor will take it out from full back, plays on instantly. Just a cheeky sideways one off to Dos Santos. He now goes inboard to Dobson. Dobson with a sideways kick. Now worked forward to Matty Motlop. Good work from Waddy. Good intent on the ball. Handball back to McLean. And a short barrel, only marked by Crocker. He's got Benulis clawing from the middle. He's got Kirby 25, 30 metres ahead of him. Will go high to Kirby. Falls short. And Dobson picks it up. He's come a bit more lively as the game's worn on, particularly this last quarter. Free kick. Paid the way of Wanderers. It'll be Jerome Motlop. He now goes inboard. Fuller kicks it forward. O'Connell just maybe not as intent there as he's been the last few minutes. And sliding through was O'Dwyer. Free kick had to be paid there. In fact, it's gone against. So O'Dwyer comes back. Not sure what that was for. Might have missed it as I was switching between the screen and plate. Comes back out now to Benulis. Looks to go out that far side. Waratah goes down to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan finds Carlin. Now to Collis. And it's just a matter of counting down the minutes now, you'd think. Cree, he takes a good mark inside 50.
Yeah, you'll think he'll take his full 30 as we've ticked into time on here this afternoon.
Not much to it this quarter. 1 goal added from Waratah. A handful added. 4 added from Wanderers.
Had a couple opportunities this afternoon. Crebo hasn't quite his measure as he goes long.
Tap through. Taylor kicks out. Marked by Thorne. Now to Waddy. Turned over at half forward for the Tars. Good work from Benulis. Magro just went over his head. Taylor will have another crack. And he works it to Thorne. Thorne goes back into Taylor. Oh, Magro just hungry as ever. He's tripped over. He earns himself a free kick. And again, it's his very good skill of just being able to play for the free kicks properly without... In fact, there might be a card here, however.
Yeah.
He's taking... just trying to work out whose number he's taking.
It's like Fijo.
He's taking Fijo's number there.
A little in disbelief. Keelan Fijo, but... Certainly the referee spotted something in there.
So it looks like Magro will get the ball. And it looks like he's going to start preparing for his runner.
Yeah. Trademark long run.
Told him he's going long. Hope is calling for it. So too is Kirby. One leads one way, one leads the other. Hope.
Oh, my goodness.
Great mark from Darcy Hope.
What a grab that was.
In the forward pocket. Don't run around, Darcy. You don't know how long's left. The siren might go.
2 to contend with. I tell you what, that's certainly my pick for mark of the day.
Kicked one from here in that second quarter. He runs around now. High ball. Missed everything. Well, if time wasn't going to beat him, skill might have, and it did in that occasion.
That mark certainly deserved more than that. Should have taken your full 30 there, Darcy, but he's had a great afternoon regardless, and not too much.
McLean just jumping the fence to collect the ball. So brings it back in. Short one to O'Connell. Under pressure already. His kick out comes to Waratah. He's got a few options downfield, but he'll go laterally into the centre corridor. Not sure about that. Needs to be clean. Kabilo wasn't. Neither were his opponents. Just slipped over in the mud. He works it forward to Thorne. Thorne goes out wide now to McLean. McLean handballs it further afield. And he'll get it back, will he? There's the siren. So the Foundation Cup will end up in Waratah's hands at the end of the day. Double S score, 86. It's 12-14, 86 to Wanderers. 6-7-43. Goal kickers today for Waratah. Magro kicked 4. 3 went to Darcy Hope and 2 to Benulis and Collis, while a single went to Arnold Kirby. Meanwhile, for Wanderers, 2 each to McFarlane and Simpson, and singles to Brenton, Motlop and Arbin. George, who did you see as the best in today's clash?
Yeah, look, I'd hard pass to look past Dylan Collis for the Waratah. Certainly, I think he was one of their better on-ground players. Benulis came into it, I guess, as the game progressed. I liked Morris and also Turnbull's hard ball wins. It's going to be hard to separate them in terms of a clear best, but if I had to give just one, I'd have to say Collis. If Magro had more of the ball, I certainly would have, hard mass not to give it to him, but my vote would have to be for Collis. Likewise for Wanderers, I like McFarlane, his tenacity all afternoon, never really let up. Simpson, big man, tried to move around the pitch as long as he could and it worked well. And I didn't mind Bo O'Connell. They were serviceable. Certainly Wanderers' point of view, and coach Aaron Motlop will be happy with the fourth quarter. They certainly gave a lot of scoring output in that particular part of play. And I guess for Coach Ryan Ayres, as you mentioned it, going off three-quarter time, they want the 4 points. They don't want to get any injuries, and certainly doesn't look like they've achieved any of that. What about yourself in terms of, I guess, your iconic voting?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I'll give my 3 votes to Dill Collis just as we wrap up. 2 to Tom Benulis and 1 to Brodie Carroll. Special mention to Arnold Kirby was fantastic in the ruck. Thanks for joining us here at Tracy Village. Look forward to bringing you the footy next weekend.